For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Hola bafethu, this is Junior Kanye. Please subscribe to iDiskiTV.
Hola bafethu, bongani bobomnisi bafethu, ngicela subscribe ku iDiskiTV.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za. Qala la Orlando Pirates lazibethela iMamelodi Sundowns kumdlalo weleague webetway Premiership iqela number 1. Lihlele encochoyini kwi compound zohlanjiwe iMamelodi Sundowns labekele phulu kwanamanqaku emithathu lo nto ithethe into ba ke ngoku na umahluko phakathi kwalamaqela lishumi elinesihlanu phakathi kwalamaqela amabili nangona ke ikhona noko isikrokro ngaphakathi esitshoyo into ba noko le besizoyibukela apha into ingakumbi ke ileague jikelele sele iphelile sawubona ke into ba eqenqelekeni kweveki mhlawumbi ukhona umfutho ozawuvela kwicala lePirates and then kuphela umoya kwicala leSundowns mhlawumbi acutheke lamanqaku alishumi elesihlanu. Well done to Orlando Pirates, well executed game plan, fantastic, congratulations. You planned for them, they're better than you found a way to beat them and you did precisely that. Well done, don't let anyone take that away from you. Lindo Pep, what did you make of the game, sir?
How are you, Mr. Nkeo?
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi chairman, technical director, ngibulisi Chasta. Mr. Nkeo, there's a famous Japanese saying that says, if you get on the wrong train, make sure that you get off
in the next stop
because the return trip might be very, very expensive.
Because if you don't get off next time, if you get off in the next station, even if it's 10 kilometers away, at least it's the next one.
Yeah.
If you just stay there, you might find yourself in another city. Where are you taking
I'm taking this. I'm saying congratulations to you, Orlando Pirates. I think Jorge Rivero understood that the 4-1, he took a lot of brand from the media, from the fans, from us, and so many people. The players got discouraged by that result. You can see by the results that they got after that game. I think they drew, I think if I'm not mistaken, against the Cape Town City. But the game plan was very simple today, in my opinion. If you cannot outplay them, you outrun them. That's a simple, basic football tactic. It doesn't involve the tactical structure. It's either you win your duels, you cover distance, you work as hard as them, and if you understand that it's a good team that can take care of the ball, they've got midfielders in Mamelodi Sundowns that can take care of the ball, they can take care of the pass. So you make sure that you respect that. And in this game, in my opinion, he respected that by playing a back three, an exceptional display from Umbogazu, Toki, Nosbis. I think they played very, very well. And then they used to bat Tablapa in the fullback position. If you check, maybe 50-50 between Ohoto and Dino van Rooyen on the sides. He had to decide in terms of the game will tell me as a coach. Sometimes mostly you are able to read to say, do I actually need width or do I actually need to consolidate? I think Dino van Rooyen, not Dion Hoto today, they covered exceptional defense.
If the coach was happy with them, he didn't need to have Unkota from up front to give him width and someone else from Mufugeng on the left-hand side to give him the width as a forward. He was happy to get it from the defenders.
Because Nkulego, he was more worried about the front three. Mamelodi Sundowns, the movement, obviously, Ikram Renas, the presence, Peter Shalulile in the box, and the creativity and the brain, Lucas Ribeiro. But if you check Nkulego, the first critical moment of the game comes on the left-hand side of Mamelodi Sundowns. The pass is made by Dino van Rooyen. They run behind him. Muma Hope, I think he sleeps there. But that channel, I think it's something that they identified, that it's a problem. We've spoken about it in the last couple of weeks to say there's a vulnerability to go rest defense in Mamelodi Sundowns by them leaving 3-1. We need to start respecting defending and understanding that game felt like a Champions League game. Mangpegi game, as it prolonged, to me, in my opinion, it felt like a Champions League game. Mamelodi Sundowns players are used to that scenario. I think it was the first time Miguel Cardoso experienced that scenario where he, in my opinion...
It's the thing that he used to do. And it's Miguel Cardoso at Esperance did it to Rulano Mukwena at Mamelodi Sundowns. The thing that happened to him, this is the burden of being the best team. This is the burden of being the best team. The thing that was done... So Miguel Cardoso playing... with a big team, but an unimaginative, typical North African team comes here and he says, I'm going to defend. And he beats Sundowns in the quarterfinal or the semi-final of the Champions League. And with an unimaginative team. Absorb, and then you score 1 goal or 2 goals on a counter-attack. It happened to him. Now he has to learn how to coach a team that plays on the front foot. Or, alternatively, like you're saying, respect defending. Find a way where you're not vulnerable at the back.
It reminds me of typical Spanish coaches. good football brain, understands football, but they lack respect for defending.
Yeah.
I understand, more especially on games like this, Nkulego. It happened, I think, Umahopa ran the channel, exceptional work from Umahopa.
Yeah, he did well.
I think the overall performance of Orlando Pirates improved from the previous game, because Umabasa, yes, is a clinical finisher, stays in the box, but in big games like this, you can see the ideology and the game plan Rivero, that he wants him to work the channel, he wants him to cause ama center backs. Now, you need center backs that can defend 1v1. I think Lucas Suarez today is going to be hard on himself. I've asked the question, where is Libusa? But the guy has been doing exceptionally well, because in that situation, Peter very easy. He delays the run. We're expecting him to play that ball early, but he waits for a run. I think he saw him. If he really finishes. But what I like about the second goal is there's a coaching moment again there. Not especially from a Sundowns. I'm more worried about the Champions League. Short passes are not the only way to beat a press. You can play a 10-meter pass, a 15-meter pass to escape the pressure. We make a mistake, Lapago Opri, Urilem Fuking receives a coaching moment again. Wingers need to learn that to minimize our touches on the ball. You only had 3 touches to finish that ball. Stop receiving outside foot, because Manja Melulungis will control. Urile takes a touch with a positive touch with his left, finishes that ball, a very good finish. But Orlando Pirates got 2 opportunities and they punished, and they understood that we might not have the ball, we have to sacrifice the ball, but we will outrun them. Exceptional in terms of Umakaula. Defensive responsibility. I'm not talking about him because he didn't have an attacking responsibility.
Yeah.
Today, he made sure that he covers Ukoki, he covers Umbogaz. Umbogaz, in my opinion as well, made sure that Lucas Ribeiro doesn't get into his strong foot. Exceptional, Umbata also covered a lot of distance. He's the one that's rested, because Musele came in to come and do the very same job. In my opinion, the only thing that I was more worried about with the Orlando Pirates was they needed pace, they needed legs to get behind the defense of Mamelodi Sundowns, because that line was very high. Umahopa got the opportunities. Yes, Urile scored the first one. Urile also played a crucial role in Nkulego today, because today he was not wide. The boy was given freedom. He was playing more. Orlando Pirates played like 3-5-2, or you can call it a 5-3-2. Whatever you like. So basically,
in position, it's something else.
Yep.
Out of position is something else. Out of position is 5.
Yep.
In position is 3, because you need Hoto
Yep.
and Dino van Rooyen to help you attacking.
Nkulego, very basic. Drop the 8 players defensive, make sure that they work without the ball, and then have 2 exit points. Exit points, I think that they absolutely played very well, in my opinion, making sure that they cause a defense. Because Nkulego, there's 2 things, which is the problem I had in Mamelodi Sundowns in attack. To say, it's not a problem facing a low block. We're facing a low block, and we've broken it.
And you face it a lot.
We face it a lot.
In the Champions League, you're going to face it again. You are suffering from the reputation of being a very good team.
Yeah.
Because even on the continent, teams defend against you. Now you have to think, how are we going to do this? Because one of Rulani Mukwena, my favorite coach ever in the world and in life, one of his biggest problem was that the teams were defending him. Now, he couldn't find a way. One of those ways would be to find a wide player like Urelebuyile Mofokeng, Umavulak Valeo. That's one of the ways. And another way is what you're saying as well. Try to find a longer pass, which is a chipped pass that they got for the goal that they scored, the equalizer.
Yes.
Make that normal as well, that to make third men run and do chipped passes when things are too, the spaces are too congested. Find a third man run. And they're not doing that. They want to score a goal in a one-dimensional fashion of building. And with a through pass, we score a goal. And that's one of the problems.
Nkulego, Sales came into the match, brought a different dimension. Brought exactly that. Made a lot of dead-man runs, or create some fouls that were very dangerous towards the Orlando Pirates. But for me, Nkulego, I need the coach to be smart and also understand South African football players, that we do have dribblers. More especially in a game like that, where Orlando Pirates, line up will be too deep. For me, you are playing with Reyners, who's more of a runner in a clinical finish. You are playing with Shalulile, who's only a finish. In my opinion, you needed someone who was dribble. Today, for me, Ribeiro played, Mamelodi Sundowns plays a 4-4-2 with one at the tip of the diamond, which is Ribeiro, and they play with 2 split strikers. But Nkulego, today, for me, Ribeiro was supposed to play in the last line of the defense, where he can dribble to eliminate, not find a pass, because finding a pass was easy to deal in the defensive Pirates. But in my opinion, you introduce a Matthews, you work as much as you can to get a Kodisang on the pitch, because those are the only players I miss Umshishi as well. The intelligence and the brain Gamshishi, because there's 2 things. You need dribbles to beat that defense, Orlando Pirates, which was solid, or you need a combination play. Abantu solid ngokudlala. For me, Lucas Ribeiro was alone. I think we looked a little bit better. Masfagu Sales, nano Masfagu Neo Maema. Because Neo Maema can find Lauma Chop, not that dink pass or vertical pass that we were looking for. A good pass from Jaden Adams. What I like also about the Sundowns, which is very important, that's why I'm not discouraged by the loss. Because the second half or 75 minutes of that game proved the level. Mamelodi Sundowns absolutely dominated the ball. They absolutely dominated the game. They took care of the ball, and which is a level where Orlando Pirates needs to move to, more especially in midfield. Having midfielders that can control the game, but also take care of the ball. If you check with Jaden Adams, even the secondary assist for the goal comes from him. He plays a negative pass, collects the ball, plays a forward pass, and then they find Ikram Renas finds Lentu Zumdao. But Marcelo Allende as well controls the game, but I need more from Allende. I love him. He's one of my favorite midfielders in the country. He's probably way above a lot of midfielders that we have. Takes care of the ball, but I need him also play that position. We need an 8 that assists. We need an 8 that scores goals. You cannot only have a responsibility of control, more especially in a dominant team like Mamelodi Sundowns. Utebza as well played very well in my opinion, but njengoba ngisho ngithi uSales brought a different element, but congratulations to Orlando Pirates.
I want to ask an interesting question. So you could draw Orlando Pirates. Actually, you're not going to draw them, right? Because the
might meet in the
final.
final.
Draw, you might meet in the final. The draw has already been decided. But for the purpose of what we were talking about when we were watching them, you made an interesting point that if there's one team that could beat you in one-off games, it is Orlando Pirates. It's the one. If there's one team that Sundowns will have a problem with, they are better than Pirates, of course. Like if it's an open game for both teams, they could score more goals. We've seen that, right? But then Pirates knows how to plan for once-off games. That's why they've beaten you in the MTN 8 final, in the Nedbank Cup final. You know, they've beaten you in matches where it's once off, we need a plan, and they execute the plan. And even today, they did exactly that. But if you were to play in the Champions League, would you not prefer to play them because of how they plan against you?
Nkulego, I would not prefer to play Orlando Pirates in CAF competitions because they're a tournament team. Mamelodi Sundowns can beat anyone any day. But if there's one team that I'm genuinely worried about is Orlando Pirates, and the first reason is they respect defending. They understand that we cannot outplay them, we'll outrun them. They understand that they can sacrifice position, which is something that the fans of Orlando Pirates will never question the coach for winning a game like that. With Sundowns, we will always question the coach, even if Mamelodi Sundowns won and they were very defensive. So maybe us as fans, we need to understand how to play the CAF Champions League. Yes, you need reference in terms of the style of play, shoe shine and piano, keep the ball, slow build-ups. But when you go to Champions League games, I think we're going to have to be very ruthless in how we attack and in how we defend. Respect those two things.
The way you lost today is how you're going to lose in the Champions League. Because all the teams that are going to play against you, who are you playing next?
Esperanza,
If they win, I expect Sundowns to win, but if they win, it won't be because they outplayed you. It will be because they absorb, and then win somehow by some luck or by some planning. That's literally how you're going to lose some of the games. You somehow need to also find a way to negate their counter, which is something that would have happened today. That although you are taking an overwhelming Pirates, if you could have negated their counter and not have a 3v3 or a 2v3 situation.
Orlando Pirates reminds me of Real Madrid, Nkulego. They understand that they can sacrifice 6 players for defensive responsibilities and leave the 3 to do what they have to do, which is Mahaunkota, Tito maybe, as well as Zuri Lemfukeng. So that's how North African teams play. They sacrifice the 6 players to have defensive responsibilities, give their creative players who score and have a smell of goal an opportunity to just cheat. Stay in the front line. We are reliable. And this is what I feel that we need from Sundowns. Even from a fan's perspective, we need to understand how to play Champions League game. I think Miguel Cardoso has the experience to know and how to play like that. I think he's probably struggling from the culture of the club. Because if you know the culture of these two clubs, Pirates has always been a transition team, even from as young as I was. They've always played in 2 quick passes and then they find their quick wingers. But Mamelodi Sundowns has always bred that style of football, which is the case Chiefs has always been in between. But if you look at that, that has always been an identical game between the Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. That's why Coach Pizzo, if there's one team that he genuinely feared, was the Orlando Pirates, because they can cause a trap, they can cause a threat to you in just one game, because they understand how to be defensive and they've got dangerous players to score goals for them.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Lindo. That was it then for the day. There'll be other videos, of course, coming from the stadium with Shane and Ubobo and TKJ as well. Otherwise, that's it from us and the team here. We'll come back with the Bafana game on Friday. Well done to Orlando Pirates as well. That was a brilliant game. Fascinating game in terms of the attack versus defense, and the 2 goals clinically scored within the first 5-6 minutes. I was so amped up and excited. They should have seen so. He was like 7 foot tall when those 2 goals were scored. Because of course we want something contested. We want people to be challenged, you know. And Pirates came through. They got those goals, and from that moment they were like, "We got 2 goals. Why do we need to attack?" Well done to them. And they defended them. Although it's risky, but they took that risk. They could have even scored, actually, more than those 2 goals. iDiski TV, iDiski Times was suspecting.
Boom.
For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiski TV. Danko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafethu, I'm a coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiski TV.